upset?
Just had a bad day at work, as usual. I feel like I can't teach these kids anything. They just don't care and they refuse to engage.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. You should take this class at Ithaca called Teaching and Learning. It covers everything you need to know about how to really engage your students.
I don't know. The problem at my school is that these kids come from broken homes and poverty. Their parents aren't even on board. They have no role models and they just don't really seem to care.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I think you should take it. This class acknowledges that issue. Believe me, you'll love it. It really teaches you how to teach effectively.
How so?
Well, for one, you learn about the different learning styles, how some people may be visual or audio learners and others are kinesthetic. Learning that makes you realize you need to teach using a variety of different angles and tools.
Okay.
What else? You learn about the major learning theorists, Freire, Bandura, Dewey, Maslow, and Bloom.
And what do those guys have to say?
Well, they're all very different, but I think they'd all agree that learning does not occur by simple rap memorization. You need to create an entire learning environment that's student-centered and values application and experience. Maslow would probably be really interesting to you. He created the hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, I think we covered that in my undergrad psych class. But how does that relate to learning?
Well, think about it. I mean, the kids you're working with don't have their most basic needs met. So how are they supposed to accomplish something like self-actualization?
That's a good point. What about the other guys?
Well, Bloom developed kind of a similar model of classification. Instead, he focused on classifying the multiple dimensions of thinking. His model moves from lower levels of cognitive functioning to higher. He has a good point, too, saying that analysis, synthesis, and evaluation are the highest levels of thinking.
Exactly. I know my kids are really learning when they're able to take the information and do something with it.
Yeah. Bandura is really interesting, too. He talks about self-efficacy. Someone with self-efficacy exercises control over threatening situations and doesn't shy away from difficult tasks. They set and achieve goals in their own fruition. That's what you want in your students.
Yeah, but how do I get there?
Well, you want to do outreach programs in the class too. The precede-proceed model is taught, as well as different aspects of communication, decision-making, goals setting, and stress management.
It's actually pretty awesome, but still, I don't think this will help my kids. Maybe with middle-class kids it'll be more effective.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We read this book called Teaching with Poverty in Mind, and you learn how much harder it is for lower socioeconomic students to perform well in school. They have more emotional and social challenges, stress, and even safety issues. All these issues are interwoven, multifaceted, and constantly serving as barriers to learning.
It's pretty discouraging.
Yeah, but that's what's awesome. You learn about the brain's ability to change through something called neuroplasticity. The brain is like a muscle in a sense, with the power to be both strengthened and weakened. There's also something called gene expression. Both of these concepts imply that cognitive and behavioral changes are more accessible than we would have thought.
It's actually pretty cool. How do I get there, though?
Well, here. A lot of it's in the book. He has something called the SHARE model. It's a good concept to build upon. You'll actually notice the teacher in the beginning is kind of like you right now.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. You'll like the part about learned helplessness. It's a pretty cool concept. Basically, when someone gets shot so many times in their life, they begin to think that they can't exhibit much control of their own lives. It's pretty relevant, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with it. It's such a hard thing to help a child see through.
Yeah, I know. That's why you need to build hope in the classroom. You have to challenge that belief. Be a role model. Have high expectations. Tell them they're awesome on a daily basis. It'll work. There's tons of examples of schools in that book where this thing has worked and shown to be effective.
Wow, it's awesome.
So you're going to take the class?
Yeah, without a doubt.